What's up, fiends? Ronin here again. Monday, booze and reviews for February 15th. How's everybody doing? Hope you all had a great Valentine's Day. I know mine was pretty good. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for 3 reasons to watch. Right, Ronin? 3 reasons to watch. Tell us, why should we watch something? Well, I'm going to give you something to watch today with Alien Invasion as our backdrop.
What was that?
I've never seen anything like them.
It's Independence Day. It's June, Gabriel!
We just need to wait here until the adults realize they left us.
Did you see the size of that thing?
Stop talking. Oh, please don't.
Was that an alien? It has a dog!
Rim of the World is a 2019 sci-fi adventure movie. It is a coming-of-age adventure movie for, I guess you would call them tweens, almost teens, whatever. So the setting is a summer camp called the Rim of the World, hence the title, Rim of the World. And these 4 very different kids come together and are thrown into a crazy situation where they have to work together and grow and save the world, of course. So Rim of the World is very 80s influenced. It brings out a lot of nostalgia and a lot of nostalgic feelings watching it. If you were like me and you grew up in the 80s and 90s watching some of the classic kid adventure movies, coming-of-age adventure movies like Stand By Me, like The Goonies, Monster Squad, stuff like that. If you grew up on those kind of films and love them, then you will absolutely love Rim of the World.
This is a crypto key. It can activate our satellite defense.
We should try to find JPL. It's a NASA facility 70 miles away from here.
How are we supposed to go 70 miles?
1973 Ford Mustang Mach 1. I can't drive a stick.
So this came out in 2019. It's currently on Netflix. You can watch it. I watched it maybe 6 months ago. Absolutely loved it. And I've watched it quite a few more times since then to prepare for this review. And also because I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. So here comes your 3 reasons to watch Rim of the World. Reason number 1 you should watch Rim of the World is the writing. Zach Stentz is the writer on this. He was the writer on X-Men First Class and Thor, among other things. As I was doing my research on this film, after watching it a few times and preparing for this, I thought the big story was going to be McG, because obviously he's who I'm most familiar with, being a Supernatural fan and a huge fan of the Babysitter movies. And he was the reason that I watched this in the first place. This came on Netflix and I had not heard of it, no idea what it was. Just saw it was like a creature movie and like a coming of age thing, and then I saw McG was attached to it, so I was like, oh, I'll watch this. I just watched Babysitter 2, I believe, around that time, and rewatched Babysitter 1 again. So I was in a McG mood, and this one delivered, man. I loved it. But again, like I said, McG wasn't the total story here. It wasn't just him. So your first reason to watch is the writing on this thing. And the writer, Zach Stentz, as I dug around, I found out that he came up with this concept in 2016, I guess. He started pitching it around. And the idea, if you haven't even watched the trailer or anything yet for it, I suggest go watch it. I'll probably put some clips in this video, and there will also be a link to watch the trailer below, so make sure you check it out if you haven't yet. But this is like a 80s coming-of-age adventure film, very much in the vein of Goonies and Stand By Me. It's very, very reminiscent of those films, and it's all on purpose. There was, in 2015, 2016, when Stentz was pitching this idea, people were saying, because he grew up on these, and I'm sure he's in my age bracket because I grew up on these as well, 80s and 90s, those movies they had a special place, and they had a great place in Hollywood. There was, you had movies being cranked out every other month with group of kids, the coming of age story, tackling adventures or whatever it was. So he wanted to do this movie, and he was pitching this idea. Hey man, let's do something like this. And everywhere he went, people told him no. Everybody's like, nah, Hollywood's not doing that right now. They don't want to see that. There's no market for that. Don't do it. Don't write it. You're not going to sell it. It's not going to happen. And he went ahead and wrote the script anyway, and got it, I guess, to McGee's studio, where McGee saw it, and the rest is history. The movie was made. Again, a little bit about the film. Coming of age, very much like Stand By Me, very much like The Goonies, but the backdrop is an alien invasion. So you take that and you combine it with Independence Day, and they even make references. There's that's the thing about the writing. There's meta references all throughout the film where they're really, it's not set in the 80s, but there's so many things in there that are acknowledging that they're taking it from the 80s, that everything is borrowed from the 80s, and it absolutely works. Again, that's why the writing is one of the first reasons that you should watch this. There is comedy that hits, there is action, there is character development. I mean, one of my biggest pet peeves about a movie is no character development. I sit and watch a movie, and if I don't care about the characters, I don't care about the movie. And sometimes, a writer or director will get their main character fleshed out and then leave the rest of the characters just generic, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to watching a film. But in this film, you have character development, you have humor, and you have action, and they're all balanced together, and they're all going on through the entirety of the film. I mean, everything is balanced perfectly. Everything works and is paced so perfectly, and there's never really a dull moment. I mean, I know you hear that a lot in movies, and usually it's attached to big blockbuster tentpole superhero movies, but this little movie, absolutely true. Right off the bat, the character development. You got these kids, and each one of them has their own backstory.
Look, honey, this summer is going to be great. You're going to make friends. There's nothing to worry about.
Welcome to the Rim of the World Adventure Camp. Alex, I am your leader, Logan.
And it doesn't take a whole lot. It just takes good writing to convey that backstory quickly and early on in the movie, because you get a lot of information on each individual kid very early on, and next thing you know, the alien invasion is happening and things are rolling, and it doesn't stop, and you just keep going. But the character development keeps going too. These kids are each on their own individual journey, and each grow from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie, and you see it. You can see it. So we'll get to that when I talk about the actors. But yeah, so that was one of the, that's my first reason that you should watch this. The script is extremely well written, and especially if you're a fan of the 80s, 90s coming of age action films that a lot of us grew up on. So you will want to check this out for the writing. Reason number 2 that you want to check out Rim of the World is the directing. And you got to give McGee his props. The man knows how to direct a movie. He absolutely knows how to get the best from his actors. He knows his shots. He knows his pacing. I mean, he directs movies, TV shows. We're Supernatural fans, obviously, here at HPUSA. We're big Babysitter fans here at HPUSA. I am a huge Babysitter fan. Love both of those movies. That's why when this came out, I decided to check it out. I saw McGee was attached to it, and I hadn't heard anything about it before. So after watching both Babysitter movies and loving them, I knew it was at least worth checking out.
We gotta get to the city. Do not move!
We're at war. You're not safe here. You've gotta go!
We can't leave you!
Take this key. It's on you now.
The pacing of the film is excellent. McGee does a great job of pacing his film so that you never really get bored. You never sit still too long, but it never moves so fast that you sacrifice your character's development, your character's story arcs. You never sacrifice plot just for the sake of having more action scenes. Reason number 3 to watch Rim of the World is the actors. I mean, if you're watching a movie that is influenced by the Goonies and Stand By Me and Monster Squad, the thing that carried those movies was they had some good young talent in front of the camera. So this movie's no different. I've never heard of any of these actors before, but they all did such a great job. I'm going to give them each a shout out here. Jack Gore plays Alex, our lead, and Jack does a great job because Alex is totally the introverted, shy, nerdy kid at the beginning. He's not very likable. I was just like, it's going to be tough to watch this kid at first, man, because he was something. He was just so, he was like cringy. But he does such a great job of growing, and you see it through each segment of the movie till by the end he's like a totally different person. And the actor, hats off. Jack, you did a great job, man. Killed it. Next up, Maya Chech, who I hope I'm saying that right, playing Shen Shen. I don't want to give too much away about this character because it's just very cool, everything she does, her whole backstory. And she's one of the main catalysts to help Alex along in his journey as well. So she really helps, her being there helps his confidence a lot and helps him grow, while she also grows herself. Moving on, we had Benjamin Flores Jr. as Dariush, and he was great. He was funny. He's playing the rich, kind of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air type kid with the pop collar and dancing around. He's got he lives in a mansion. His parents drive a Hummer. He's got a butler, has folding his clothes, and he's very materialistic. But of course, that's just the side that he outwardly shows. There's more to him than that, and we see it, and we learn more about it, and we also see him grow as a character. So, great job by Benjamin Flores Jr. And then last of the 4 kids was Alessio Scaglietti. I'm sorry, Alessio, if I'm pronouncing that wrong or if I'm butchering it. But Alessio played Gabriel, and he was like a young model looking like a Freddie Prinze Jr. up there. And he was good. You would call him kind of like the, was it John Bender character from Breakfast Club. He was like the bad boy with like the problems at home and all that stuff. So, he did a good job with his role, and the character was very well written for coming in a little late into the film after all the other kids were already established and we've already seen them. He still was able to come in and kind of you get his story pretty quickly. You kind of catch up pretty quick to him, and he does a good job of carrying it from there. So all in all, these kids all did great. And if you're watching a movie about a coming of age, you want good actors doing it. So hats off to all of them. It's definitely a reason to watch.
May I propose a toast?
Oh, crap. This is from 1969. Could at least get some fresh wine if this is going to be my first time, right?
In closing, I just want to say that Stentz and McGee absolutely succeeded in giving this generation their Stand By Me or their Goonies. This is a great movie. It's a lot of fun. It's I've watched it a bunch of times. It's enjoyable every time I watch it. The kids are great, and it brings me back to the Hollywood movies that I loved growing up. And that's why Mr. Stentz wrote it. I'm sure that's why McGee decided to direct it, and that's why I watched it, and it did not let me down. So make sure you check out Rim of the World on Netflix streaming right now, and I'm sure you can find it other places as well. So till I see you next time, make sure you subscribe, comment if you watched the movie and wanted to talk about it. Comment. I'd like to know your thoughts. If there's a movie you want me to check out, if you thought some movie was amazing and you think I would have 3 reasons to tell other people to watch it, comment below and tell me what you think. All right. For now, that's it, and we will see you in 2 weeks for more booze and reviews. Until then, keep tuning in at noon every day, Monday through Friday, for all our new content. Make sure you check out all my co-host shows and other personality shows here on HPUSA TV. All right, y'all, stay spooky.